All right. Anyways, let's look at the Revolutionary Communists of America. Looks like they're having their first demonstration. What's up? What the fuck is that guy, bro?
Physiognomy check.
Pretty good turnout, though. Last war, 2024. All right, let's see if any of these guys look all that. Who here looks like they could be a worker or a fighter at least? This is the new Red Army. So we got soy, Asian, gay, old, woman, woman, woman,
A lot of women.
midget.
Who's that in the front with the mustache?
This guy?
Yeah.
Um,
Is that the founder?
I think it's one of the leaders. He looks kind of like the one guy with the goatee I see in a lot of their stuff. Bro, whoa. What the hell? That fit is insane. Soy boy, is he holding Soylent, bro? Is it a bottle of Soylent? Belly shirt, the fuck? Lots of like beards and baseball caps. I'm seeing like the Soy Boy, Chapo Trap House physiognomy. Tummy. Wow, that's crazy. Well, they just had their
What are the responses?
their first party congress.
Jackson Hinkle. Is that Jackson
No,
Hinkle?
this is their competition. So both of these parties got started this year. Like so this is the Revolutionary Communists of America, which is a rebrand of a Trotskyite outfit. Hold on. What the heck? Okay. Yeah, this organization has been around for a while. It's a Trotskyist group. They just renamed it and they relaunched it as the Revolutionary Communists of America. And all of their English-speaking, all their Anglosphere chapters all did like a rebrand. So they got new graphic design, new font, new branding, essentially. They did this a few months ago, and the ACP, which is a Marxist-Leninist group, that's Jackson Hinkle. That's more of a Stalinist one. They've been defending Stalin, whereas these guys hate Stalin because he killed Trotsky. So this is left communism. Oh.
Huh.
So you can see this has a lot of women, and this is like more feminine.
Why is no one there to beat them? Like, shouldn't we have Americans there to like kick in their heads or something? So I remember when Maggots tries doing this, and they get beat up. So why can't we beat up communists?
Look at this guy, dude.
So impotent.
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna join you. Homeless guy. Well, the sea of red flags is a good aesthetic, though. The fact that they have so many flags, that must have cost them a pretty good amount of money. But you can see, look, they've got their marshals here with the high vis vests on. They've got a big banner, easy to read, red. It's obvious they're communists. They're keeping their people. See, the banner keeps everybody in line and keeps their crowd dense. They're going at a slow pace. Whenever we do a gathering, our guys are always wanting to power walk and not stick with the group. That's like a problem I've noticed. So these guys know what they're doing. They have decades of doing this sort of bullshit. One criticism of the Trotskyite faction of the left is essentially what happens is a group gets set up and they set up a newspaper because everybody wants to be the next Pravda. And they become like a newspaper selling racket, essentially. But yeah, European nationalists do the banner thing too. These guys are exporting or importing rather knowledge from, I assume, their English um, counterparts. I believe this group is part of a internationale, which is headquartered in London, and I assume the Europeans are teaching these American guys how to protest European style, like with the parade marshal and stuff like that. So
Who even reads newspapers anymore?
Elon Musk is. Oh shit! Look at that. People were crying when Patriot Front marched through Philadelphia.
Well, it's obviously these guys with all the red flags are feds. This is the FBI.
Yeah, see how no one calls them feds though? It's crazy. They're like, oh, they're soy boys and they're idiots. Because conservatives are like, oh, well, the leftists are evil and communist, and they genuinely believe that. But nobody on the right wing would ever want to march. Oh, that's crazy. But yeah, no, this is we can definitely learn from the left. They are good at certain things. Like, here's their founding Congress they had 2 days ago on Saturday in Philadelphia.
Why didn't their venue get shut down? Like, whoever's doing this venue should have just shut it down.
It looks like a public.
Well, you can't have AFPAC, so why don't they shut down this one? We'll overthrow capitalism in our lifetime.
It's because we don't have groups of right wingers that are dedicated to just like harassing any venue that leftists have. The lack of masking clearly demonstrates an inability to organize and a complete lack of. What? Is this guy joking? He's complaining that they don't have masks. It's funny. Let's see if there's any other media. Yep, look, they have a newspaper. Recruiting and building communist cells, bro. Let's build our cells, comrade. Isn't that crazy? Like the optics of that. They just don't give a shit. Although this is smart though. Look, they have a newspaper, but the back of it is also a poster. That is actually genius. Because you could easily cut that out and wheat paste it to a wall or hang it on your wall or something like that. Time to bring back our fighting traditions. You know, I hate when people say the Fed thing, but part of me was thinking like, man, this would be a perfect Fed op or just controlled op, because I guess you can make this argument that anything that's scary on one side of the political aisle is like recruiting bait for the other side. But maybe they're just really, forceful with their branding, to scare the right wing or whatever.
Well, I see it as an allowance. This is allowed to exist.
Yeah.
It's allowed to be promoted, whereas the antithesis is heavily censored. It's violently opposed, and there's a lot of legal lawfare against it. I don't think there's a lot of lawfare against this.
Yeah, this guy is like one of the leaders, bruh. Bruh, 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 bruh. Bruh, 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 bruh,
I mean,
bruh, 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 bruh.
on one hand, their physiognomy makes it hard to infiltrate, Because if you don't look like them, they'll sniff you out.
Yeah, so when I ran the Orange County Antifa chapter for a couple of years, my cover story was I was a Marxist, Orthodox Marxist Leninist. So I was a Stalinist. And a lot of the people in Antifa are anarchists or Trotskyites, right? So most of the people in my chapter were like this. It was mostly women. And they were mostly left communists, and they were very insufferable. But the Stalinist Chad, they still wanted the masculinity, I won't elaborate, but that's always been a beef for a long time in the communist camp. But obviously the Trotskyites got purged and executed. Trotsky himself got killed. But look at this subhuman, bro. Like leftism is a problem, but it obviously it's a problem that could easily be solved, because if the government wasn't a factor, we could easily wipe the floor with these people.
Look at the racial diversity, though.
It's wider than the freaking RNC. White, med, I don't know, Indian, just
extra chromosome.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. Potato, Idaho potato, Latina, Viet.
Some Asian.
Turn the wire.
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that one bald monkey from Planet of the Apes that wears the vest. Another monkey. What the fuck? Scuffed linen.
The tall guy with the long hair looks like he could be like an acceptable person in society, though. If he got a haircut.
Yeah, this guy looks normal. This guy looks goofy. This guy could be normal. This guy looks like Paul Town kind of. Normie, soy jack, failed normie. I don't know. It's crazy. This one looks stinky, bro. I just imagine the smell of this crowd of people, this gaggle of communists.
I said, "Are you a communist?" And he went, "Oh yeah."
This one's all women though. This is funny. This is the funny part about this one.
I never would have thought that a canvasser walking up to us would be the type of person that we could potentially recruit.
Oh yeah, Shibler said that he's making a clip of my monologue from yesterday. I really appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to it.
People are just like,
if people want to clip my stuff, please do so. That actually is the best way to help my channel.
Revolutionary ideas are about to take the American political landscape by storm.
Playing Sacred War.
We are back. After a couple of months of silence, Socialist Revolution podcast has been wrapped up, and this is actually a brand new podcast, Communists of America.
Communists of America. New York City. Another white communist? Never seen one of those on YouTube or on this site. The comrade is half Mexican, but we don't tokenize based on petty identity politics. We're working on building a party for the working class. Bruh.
Half Mexican, so white.
LL Spain. The same working class that shot each other in both world wars. Oh, is this guy like a right-wing Mexican?
Probably just a contrarian.
Woo!
This makes
Woo!
sense to promote these types of organizations, though, considering the U.S. dollar is going to collapse. We are looking at major inflation, runaway inflation. Donald Trump might be a brief reprieve, but it's all assured. There is going to be inflation. The U.S. dollar will collapse. The American economy is going to go through a very difficult time, and it's anyone's guess if it'll recover. So it's probably smart for them to start expanding now, right before the fall. It's like, does our side have any sort of organization that is addressing these fundamental economic problems?
No.
And building right now? Because we all know the national debt's not solvable But these guys are like, well, here's the solution: is we just become communists.
So they sent a delegation to Mexico for the for this some conference. Looks like.
It was cool.
I mean, they're doing stuff around the world. Oh, Phoenix! Look, Phoenix Marxist School.
How do I sign up?
This was November 2023. Wow. Look, they got shirts. They got.
What's the link for that? I'm gonna look this up right now. srev.org.
I think they changed their website since then. But look, they're organizing. They're not afraid to show their faces. That is crazy, bro. Look at the fit. Tyler Russell says, "Woohoo!" Yeah, Tyler, you'd fit right in. You got red hair.
Well, everybody's white.
I've seen these people tabling. Oh, actually, these guys do a table every month here in Phoenix. What the heck? Where is this? Is this DC?
Hot on the heels of shutting down Turning Point USA at ASU on November 1st, Phoenix Comrades, the Socialist Revolution, organized the biggest communist event in the American Southwest this year. Okay.
This guy's everywhere. Look at that nose. He's half Mexican. What's his other half? I wonder. It's all chicks and like weird fags though.
Yeah,
Tranny.
If you want to meet women, go to the communist meeting.
Okay, this one's all right though. That's the blonde one from the video. So yeah, this one's all bitches. So I want to see what the dynamic is with the Trotskyite female one and the Stalinist ACP, which has no women in it at all, which is kind of funny. Yeah, this used to be called the IMT, the International Marxist Tendency. Oh my God, bruh.
USA sent an undercover agent to infiltrate the Marxist school. And I'm not really sure how you infiltrate a public event that anybody could have gotten into, but that's the way that they presented it. The undercover reporter collected secret footage of various sessions and discussions over the weekend, which mostly consisted of comrades calmly and articulately explaining.
We know both those guys. Which is funny. Look at that guy dead.
They sent people to Canada. Bro, look at that. He's got the Mussolini hairline. The arc of history bends toward a Norwood 5. This is kind of funny that I'm just going through this. This is before their rebrand now. This is 2022. But the fact of the matter is, even if you have a bunch of dysgenic losers, when you have organization and you have professional activists and you have donors, you can still accomplish shit. Like, these are all losers, but, you know, people like to look at right-wing groups and they go, oh, look at these fat peoples. Look at these incels. Look how goofy this is. And the left does it and when they critique us, but you know, they don't really critique themselves for having a bunch of weird goofballs, right? And they're still making stuff happen. So don't underestimate your enemy. Even if these guys individually are subhuman, that doesn't mean that, you know, they still can't achieve things just through force of numbers. You know, with some autistic Jewish guy wielding all that manpower, they can still organize. And look, they got a red easy up, they got red tablecloth, they got all their shit here. It's about having a presence. They're still having a presence, and they're becoming a part of the public square. And like Turning Point USA is like wanting to have people, you know, debate them, like we're debating communists. And when you debate people, you're legitimizing them. You're like allowing them to be a part of the public square.
Well, I would say that I think for TPUSA, it's more about them getting viral clips, and instead of doing the newspaper route, they're much more focused on the social media route.
Yeah, but at the expense of, like, yeah, Turning Point's benefited from it, but it's also putting these guys on the map too, though. You know, everything has a cost.
Mexico, Canada, Britain, and beyond.
So,
Become a
you
founding
know.
member and attend the Congress. Join your party today.
Now let's see what the ACP has put out. Since the other day. Let's see. Congratulations to Maduro on their electoral victory. So this is, I wouldn't be surprised if this one was actually the Fed op, because they're like publicly siding with every single enemy of the U.S. government.
Well, these are like autistic people who don't want to be on the right wing, but chose communism as an authoritarian bent.
Yeah.
This is definitely more autistic immediately looking at it.
You could tell like less women involved with any of this shit. This looks like a right wing like party, you know what I mean? Like with their font and everything. Like this looks like NJP or something. Just like, you know, he's got his guns on the wall. Haas, he's got a nice beard though. I gotta give him credit. But look, no chicks, no bitches.
This is an incel party.
No, I mean Hinkle's, he's yoked. Look at it. He's jacked. He works out. I mean, but look at the difference though between this party, the Stalinist authoritarians, and like the libertarian communists of the RCP or the RCA. So yeah, I think authoritarianism does definitely attract a certain type of person, left or right.
The authoritarian Communist Party.
Let me read my chat, make sure I didn't miss anything. Tyler Russell says, Le Parti Révolutionnaire. Murky says, fascism works because it's attractive, unlike this. Hinkle, the same nigga that thinks genes aren't real, by the way. You know, me and Hinkle are from the same town. We're from San Clemente, which is kind of funny. He went to San Clemente High. Tyler Russell says, walking downtown this weekend, there were communists handing out flyers for some candidate. They're just on the streets. Well, did you fight them or something, or did you just walk by?
I'm pretty sure he stabbed him right in the throat.
Yeah. Last time I saw them, I was downtown with my buddies, and they were tabling at like a street fair in Phoenix, and we were pressing the fuck out of them, bro. It was so funny. Maybe we'll have to say hi to them next time they go tabling. But yeah, these people cannot be allowed to be they cannot be allowed to organize without any pressure. Like there needs to be a resistance to these people. They need to feel unwelcome and unsafe. So when you allow an organization, like the left is not wrong when they say that if you allow the right wing to organize and spread its message, people are going to listen, and it's going to allow us to get stronger. That's why they are so aggressive, and they're so hell-bent on denying us any kind of reprieve. So we should repay the favor to them.
Well, instead of the that viral punch a Nazi thing, why not just have like punch a liberal?
Well, I think punch a commie would make more sense.
Let's we'll put on that the Moldy Locks punch.
Yeah, punch a
that
commie.
That one did well. Everyone's
well, the original one is kill a commie for mommy, but that's Fed posting, so I'm not going to say that. I actually have a patch. Where is it? I just saw that thing.
So not this Communist Party, but the previous one condemns Israel. Says the Israel's claim to self-defense following October 7th isn't real. It's not true. Says that Israel is the one who did all the killing. Just like Wendy Rogers told me, the left are the real anti-Semites.
Where the heck did I put that?
They're anti-Joe Biden.
Impact says, nigga looking stressed, looking for that patch. Well, I actually got banned from PayPal for buying this patch. So I've got to find the damn thing. I just saw it.
If you buy the wrong thing, you get banned.
This was years ago. Actually, I think it's in my nightstand. All right, Greyson, you have the floor. Comrade Greyson. Comrade Arnold.
The interesting thing about these communists, though, is that despite not having like this crazy racial diversity, which RNC really loves to promote, they are mostly white. And when they say class warfare, I'm really not convinced it's entirely class warfare, because if you look at their ethnic makeup already, and they got called out on Twitter for one of their guys, and they're like, oh no, he's half Mexican, he's not white. I'm pretty sure the class warfare isn't going to be 100% class. It's going to be a little bit of a racial element in there.
Class war 2024.
Especially when you look at who owns most of the money, who owns the media, who owns the banks, and becomes class warfare. They're going to run into the same problems that the John Birch Society had with the more rocks you uncover, the more people with a Jewish ethnic background are involved with the upper echelons, which class warfare seeks to pretty much remove from society or to make equal with the rest of us. It's going to be interesting if they continue to gain steam of how they confront these elements.
All right.
It's too late. I got the chair now.
Here's my patch. Here, move. Skedaddle. Por favor. I've got to show them my epic patch. Whoa, epic.
Banned from PayPal patch.
Banned from PayPal. Yeah. I've had this for a while. I've had this for like 5 years probably.
Why is it a black guy?
He's a base black guy. I never wear it though because it has a bad word on it. I don't like wearing clothes with bad words on them. They banned you for buying that? Yeah, I swear, dude. This was I was in college and I got banned. They sent me an email saying that they deactivated my PayPal account. I'm like, are you freaking joking? I was so pissed. I think the merchant might have gotten flagged or something. It was one of those patch outfits from they were advertising on 4chan or something a long time ago. Join the communists. All right, let's all right, hey guys, I'm Tyler Russell. I want to join the Revolutionary Communists of America.
Well, the Canadian flag's already red. Halfway there.
Oh wait, I don't want it to autofill my. Yeah, let's not do that. I don't want to dox my everything. Submit a report. Oh, for activism. Our program. Let's read their program. They actually have a program, which is kind of nice. I wish more people would have a program. Okay. A fighting program for the Revolutionary Communists of America. I love the militant language, even though they're all like chicks and noodle arms. The RCA is a party of class fighters committed to the complete overthrow of capitalism. We fight for a world of material superabundance and reject the artificial scarcity of a system based on the pursuit of profits. We fight to build a revolutionary leadership worthy of the name and to establish a workers' government that can mobilize the working class to tackle the capitalist roots of war, inequality, oppression, and climate catastrophe. As part of the struggle for the American Socialist Revolution, we fight for concrete improvements in workers' lives and offer a vision of how society could be reorganized once the working class wins political and economic power. We are proud members of the Revolutionary Communist Internationale, which shares the same aims and is active in dozens of countries worldwide.
With fighting oppression and class and unity in women, is anything they say in there different than the RNC platform? On the fight oppression one, it sounds like the RNC.
Well, you know, neocons were Trotskyites originally, right?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, a lot of the guys that were the big neocons were Trotskyists initially. So they were this flavor of Marxist. And Trotskyites hated the Soviet Union because Stalin took over. And so they were anti-Soviet. But yeah, they're rejecting, because communists typically, at least Orthodox Marxists, they reject identity politics. Like, they don't want to say gay rights or Black Lives Matter, all that. They want to, they might use those pragmatically, but ultimately they want to organize based on class warfare. You know, workers' rights. They never say, you know, they don't really talk about anything.
Right there, racism, sexism, and xenophobia are poison in the workers' movement and must be driven out. RNC. Socialist internationalism. Okay, that's not RNC. Fighting against every kind of oppression is not only a moral imperative, it's a precognition for forging class unity needed to ensure successful revolution. Kind of RNC-ish. Workers' government would end mass incarceration and release
Border walls,
prisoners. Equal rights would be granted to all, no matter where they were born. RNC.
Reparations for slavery.
RNC's headed that way. I'm not going to be surprised if they embrace that eventually. That's what the Platinum plan under President Trump for $500 billion was supposed to be the right-wing equivalent of.
Psyop Grunt says apparently Shapiro's dad was a Trotskyite. Let's see what sick merch we can get.
Got Hegel. What kind of banned books do they got up there?
Bundle of the Communist. Communism will win. I remember that guy at West Point that
With the hat?
Or no, with the communism will win.
In his hat.
Oh, yeah, in his hat, yeah. RCA fanny pack, bruh. Baseball cap.
Fanny pack might be one of their #1 sellers.
Hat's kind of cool. I mean, like the embroidery.
I know someone who would really like that, unironically. Starts with an M, ends with a J. None of this seems all that appealing.
Well, yeah, because we're not communists.
Maybe we should get one of those communism will win shirts.
Why don't we loot it off a comrade?
It's true.
It'd only be funny if it was a war trophy. I mean, hey, we might get some free merch next time we see them tabling. We'll see. They're just playing, or they're just rehashing existing posters and selling them. I wonder who makes their stuff though. Like, who's their payment processor? And look, they got Amex, MasterCard, Discover, PayPal, Visa. What's this one again? Powered by Shopify. Insane.
If anybody does the antithesis to this, every single one of those payment processors would ban them. That's since, like I said, they're allowed to exist. That's why this is here.
Murky says nobody wears green like what? Nobody wears green like that. What do you mean by that? Nobody wears green like that.
Facts.
Like the communism will win hoodie? Mm-mm. Yep, here's the stickers I've been seeing all over. $30. What's it get you? 100 "Are You a Communist" stickers, 50 posters, 6 copies of The Communist, the paper of the RCA, 3 copies of the new RCA member welcome booklet, Building the Revolutionary Party, What is Marxism book, includes introductions to dialectical materialism, historical materialism, and Marxist economics, Marxism versus Identity Politics booklet, and a RCA plus RCI manifestos booklet. $12 for a flag. Pretty cheap, actually. 100 for 10 flags. See, they must have an insane, they must have had like a lot of funding initially, and they just, economy of scale, they must have made thousands of flags or something. The fact that they can sell them for that cheap, that's crazy. Interesting. Well, yeah, this is how they're able to fund their activism. But as far as the idea of the newspaper, I don't think that's actually a bad idea. You know, I think having a newspaper would be cool for us, you know, like a nationalist newspaper.
Who even reads newspapers, though?
I mean, I do when I have access to them. You know? And people read, like, I don't know, like the Daily Stormer or whatever. That's just a digital newspaper. But imagine if the Daily Stormer had like a print. I don't know. I think a newspaper just gives you legitimacy. It's inherently seen as more highbrow than like a blog, because anybody can make a blog, but to have a newspaper, it shows, you know, that there was investment, there's a staff, there's typesetters. You know, I loved doing the newspaper class in high school. I was the editor of my school paper, by the way. Huh. But printing press, you know. I mean, we have some decent ideas on these streams sometimes, right? I would like to believe like the monologue yesterday was okay at the beginning. But it would be better if we were able to put it into print and have the thoughts of all of our guys. Not everyone is good at being in front of a camera, but some of these things are worth writing down. The other thing too, Greyson, is if you have a newspaper and you're distributing it, that's like a supply chain. That's people that are willing to, you know, buy it. And it's pretty much like getting your guys used to logistics. So
let's look up online the death of print media.
Oh, I mean, I know that's true, but this is how they fund their shit too. I mean, obviously people buy this to fund the party. This is how they fund their parties, through their newspaper. So yeah, obviously, you know, most randos are not going to buy a subscription to The Communist, but out of curiosity, they might buy one if it's a communist newspaper. Like imagine being a leftist and you're walking on the street and you see a communist tent. That would be interesting and different. And you might be like, oh, like a communist newspaper. This is just like the 1910s. It would be like being a right winger and you see like a fascist booth. They're like, buy a fascist newspaper for $5. People would probably be like, huh, that's weird. Like, I wonder what they have to say. I don't know. Murky says the right wing just needs to be less anonymous and more assertive. Yeah, well, I agree with that, because the reason I face doxed myself is I don't think we're going to win without public people. I think you guys are definitely smart to remain anonymous whenever possible, unless there's a good reason not to be. But there needs to be people that are willing to represent the movement and make the movement relatable. To have a clandestine, anonymous organization is incredibly difficult. I mean, let's think of some anonymous groups that actually were able to achieve any of their goals. I mean, the only groups I can really think of are like the IRA.
The Illuminati.
And the only way you're able to have a group like the IRA where there's no public leadership and nobody knows who you are is they had a extremely forceful way of dealing with internal issues.
The Freemasons.
The Freemasons, they had, yeah, the Masons. You sign an oath, and if you betray your oath, then the penalty is you get your entrails pulled out or whatever. And I'm sure back in the day they probably would do that.
The Rosicrucian Society.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Freemason adjacent. Anything Hermetic tradition related?
Hermes Trismegistus.
Yeah, I see your point. Anything there you don't have anything with the max anonymity is really hard to accomplish unless you're part of the elite wealth already.
Yeah, or you're just
because all those groups had pretty much the elites with them. They're just anonymous, hyper wealthy people.
Yeah, or the Viet Cong, which a lot of their C2 was shared with the North Vietnamese army. They denied that for a long time, but yeah, eventually General Giap admitted that the NLF, that we know as the VC, were pretty much controlled by North Vietnam, obviously.
Well, I see that more as a racial issue. Even the South Vietnamese had problems with communicating with VC because they are their racial countrymen. And it's very easy when you go to a foreign place like that to pick out who the foreign invader is just by looking at them.